to be.
What is good? Prince Unique, what's going
That
on?
is the question.
Welcome.
Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune,
Sharing out the link real
or to
quick. Good
take
morning.
arms against
Probably
the
not going to get a lot
smooth
of people here because it is early. It's actually
and by
8:16 a.m.
end them
Sharing out the link real quick.
to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the
All right, we're back in the building. What's going on? How's the audio? Audio check. To be or not to be? That is the question of the day. Actually, it's to notch, to be or not to be. Share the link out, guys. We're going to get some conversation started.
or not to be.
That is the question.
That is the question.
What is up, guys? Tony here, Positive Tech Reviews in the building. We do have a great topic today that I've been seeing a lot of through the internet. People, or not people, actually companies coming out with a notch. I want to know your guys' thoughts on it. That's why I decided to make this live stream. Ricardo Medina, what's going on? What's going on? Thank you for joining the live stream. Today's topic is going to be a pretty simple topic. I just decided to make a live stream, and I'm going to share my feelings on the notch, what I think about the notch. Can we avoid the notch with these phones coming out now? I think not. I think from here on down, eventually everyone is going to actually come out with a notch. These phones coming out forward. I've already seen the Asus, one of the Asus phones with the notch. Also, we've seen LG, the G7 with the notch. It went as far as even going to my beloved phone that I always get the phone when it comes out, the OnePlus phone. Apparently, the OnePlus 6 is going to come out with a notch also, man. I don't know how I feel about it. I had the iPhone 10, and I haven't heard that phone in a good while. Well, I had the iPhone 10, and I'm one of those guys that I like to consume a lot of media. You know, I watch movies and YouTube videos, and I always got my phone in landscape mode, and I like to consume media that way. I watch a lot of movies and stuff on my mobile device. So one of the things that kind of was bugging me when I got the iPhone 10, which, you know, if you guys check out my videos, you guys see that I had the iPhone 10, was the notch. The notch was like one of the main things that actually, you know, bothered my when viewing content. It just didn't go right with me. So the notch, and then I also had some other issues with it. That's why it's no longer on my channel. Yeah, but yeah, we got here. Let's check out some of the phones that are coming out. Apparently, we got the OnePlus 6 that has the notch. I'm sure you guys seen some of these on the internet. We got the LG G7 with the notch. I'll show you a picture of it right here. We do have a photo of it with a notch on there. So here it is. The LG G7, I believe. The LG G7 with a notch. I'm not really, you know, it's gonna come no matter what. So all these phones are gonna come out with a notch. So it's probably gonna be an editable. What is it? It's probably gonna be something we're gonna have to deal with. Coming from the manufacturers, I don't know. My honest opinion, I don't like it, but I see where they're going with it. They want to maximize your screen real estate. So they want to maximize the screen real estate by doing that. Let me see how many people we got on here. Probably not a lot, like a 7. I'm gonna keep on going with the stream. Let me open my other window, a new tab. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and continue talking about this. So we do have the LG G7. I think I got a better image on it right here. Check it out. That's what it's going to look. So they kind of like, they have incorporated some things where they can actually black out the top. So it doesn't look too bad, but I don't know. My thoughts on it is going to be that all the phones are going to come out with it. So let me see. So I got, the chat is like real slow. It's not actually syncing in with what I have on the screen here, but we got 8 people watching. So let's go ahead and keep going. So I just want to know your guys' thoughts on it. I want to, Big House Productions in the building, Notch Life. And I want to know your guys' thoughts on it. I've seen one photo with the OnePlus 6, and it had a notch not only at the top, but at the bottom also. And I think I tweeted that on on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. This is the one I saw. If it comes out like this, I think it's going to be a pretty cool looking phone, even though I don't like the notch. But it is like streamlined thin. So it's very thin at the top. Let me see if you guys can see that. Very thin at the top and then very thin at the bottom. So I'm guessing it has like front-facing speakers, which is a good thing. So that's a trade-off. I would deal with that because, you know, front-facing speakers are awesome. So let me see what's up. TJ in the building. Big House Productions in the building. Welcome you guys to be or not to be live stream. We're having some fun here, guys. Let me set up my stuff real quick. I got my pop-out chat light covering up half my screen. Okay, now I can see the comments. So yeah, what do you guys think about it? Is you guys gonna rock with the notch in 2018? I'm guessing we don't have a choice because these manufacturers they're gonna do it anyways. So you're either stuck with an old phone without a notch, or you upgrade to a phone with a notch. I think personally, you know, the Samsung kind of like made fun of the notch. They made fun of the notch when the iPhone 10 came out, and what else? When the iPhone 10 came out, they made fun of the iPhone 10. They also in Mobile World Congress they actually kind of threw a little thing there with the notch also. It doesn't have a notch. So when they released the S9, so what do you guys think? They also mentioned something that was a little bit weird. I mentioned it before on my last stream. They mentioned that they're no longer worried about being the first ones, which is kind of a little hint to me that they're going to come out with some kind of a notch design. You know, when that's the first thing that came off of my head. I'm going to stay away. I'm going to stay without the notch. What's up, Matt? Matt Joseph in the building. Air Pasa, what's going on? Big House Production. I like the Asus Zenfone. I mentioned that in yesterday's stream. They also came out with the full display, and then it had like a pop-up front-facing camera, which I thought that was dope. What I didn't like was the speakers in the screen. It was, you know, that's something that has to be tested. I don't know how the quality would be as far as the you know, listening to someone speaking to you underneath the glass. Terry Keller, what's going on? I'm going with the S9 if the U12 don't come out. I'm sure the U12 is going to come out. I haven't heard much on the U12, so it's going to be an interesting phone. The U11 was awesome. The U11 was one of the best phones that I really enjoyed. It's one of the underrated phones. It didn't do too good in sales, I think, but it was a good phone. Battery life and all that good stuff was real good. Let me take a sip of my coffee. So did you guys also see the OnePlus 6 leaks? Apparently, I got a photo right here, which I'll probably zoom up a little bit so everyone can see the phones coming out with the notch. I'll cover myself up over here. Check it out. So we got these phones coming out. We have Let me see. Let me blow this up a little bit so I can see. We had, whoa. Okay, so we have the Asus Zenfone 5 coming out with a notch. We also have the iPhone X already came out. We also have these other Chinese brand phones that you know they're not really popular. We got the Elephone T2 Pro also coming out with a notch. We have the Legos S9, which is another phone. So we got all these phones. We got the Huawei P20, which is an interesting phone that is coming out. You know, Huawei makes some real good phones. We have the Doogie V, the Oppo R15, which I believe is what the OnePlus 6 is going to look like. I believe it's going to look like the Oppo R15, and then we have the LG G7. So here is what their lineup is going to look like in 2018, other than the iPhone 10. I like the edge-to-edge display. So I don't have an issue with the edge-to-edge display. The notch on the top is not too bad on the Huawei P20, which I probably got my eye on it. But check out the bottom bezel. Let me open this up a little bit more. Check out the bottom bezel on this on the Huawei P20. You know, the idea of Apple coming out with a notch is because they actually used the whole display to minimize the bezels. They actually went with the minimized bezel on the bottom. So they didn't do this with the Huawei P20. So why would they include the notch? I don't get that part. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna go full edge to edge, they should eliminate the bottom. Then I could see the excuse for having the notch on the top, because you wanted to actually spread out that display across the device. And a lot of these Android phones don't do that. They don't do it like the iPhone 10 did it. The iPhone 10 actually went all the way down, which, you know, I kind of justify that because they actually wanted to stretch out the display to get, you know, maximize the display across the device. So check it out. These are the Android phones coming out. You know, they kind of like the notch is I don't like the notch, I'll be honest, but it's something that we're gonna have to deal with in 2018, you know. So check it out. This is their lineup. I don't like the bottom bezel on most of these phones. I think, you know, it's a trend, and a lot of people are saying that, or there's a lot of websites saying that everyone's copying the iPhone. I believe it's just a trend. It's, you know, the iPhone came out first with it, and everybody saw that the iPhone had it first. But I don't think that the iPhone, like Jay Will said in one of his videos, I don't think they're the first ones that thought about it. I think that it was something that was coming, and the iPhone just came out with it. You know, they were the first ones to come out with it. Maybe not the first, but maybe the first to release it and have commercials on it and go worldwide with their marketing. I think that's something that, you know, Apple does good, is the marketing. So yeah, there we have it, guys. The lineup of 2018 notch phones coming out, or already came out. The LG, let me see right here, the LG G7. This is what it's kind of gonna look like. And I don't know. We'll see when it come out. I'm not a huge fan, but I guess it's gonna have to grow on me. Let me see. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Minimize this. Okay, so what is up, Terry? Terry Keller says the P20 might be my next phone. Big House Production says Huawei is doing it too. Yeah, everybody's jumping on the notch bandwagon in 2018. So from here on down, that's what this video is basically gonna be about, is everyone coming out with a notch. Let me minimize this right here. So yeah, I actually, I don't like it, like I said, but when we have the consumers are we're kind of like screwed with the notch now. So that's why I'm thinking Samsung may have something up their sleeve when it comes to the notch. We'll see what happens with them. But let me read some more of these comments. So Matt Josephson says, are these phones all 18:9? I think they're 19:9. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're 19:9 aspect ratio, which is a little bit bigger. Big House Production says, if they can keep it small like the Essential did with the camera, that wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I think the Essential phone did it best because, well, they did it really well at the top. They just didn't do too good on the bottom because the bottom still has the bezel. These Android phones gotta try to get rid of that bezel on the bottom, and I think their design will be a whole lot cleaner and a whole lot nicer because that's the whole purpose, is trying to maximize the screen real estate on these devices. So they should try to do something with the bottom. I think the Oppo R15 did pretty good. That's the thinnest that I've seen so far, and apparently that's what the OnePlus 6 is going to look like. And then we have, let me see, Terry Keller says, I'd be very upset if HTC goes out of business of making phones. Well, I think Google bought HTC, so I think that's not going to happen. I think there's going to be more phones coming out. TJ, what's going on? If people start complaining about the notch on phones to the manufacturer, I don't think that's going to do nothing. At this point, at this point, I think it's a done deal. I think that these manufacturers are still going to continue to make the notches. I think that's just the way technology is going. And out of all these phones that we have up here, even though I'm not a fan of the notch, I think the P20 and the R15 and the T2 Pro have the smallest notch, and those are the ones that I think they're more appealing to me. I think the iPhone has the biggest notch out of all of them. Let me see. John Appleseed. iPhone X has the display driver hidden under the display, hence no bottom bezel. Yes, they did an awesome job there. TJ, if people complain about the notch, then the phone manufacturers will start to see that. Oh, yeah. I kind of agree, but they don't listen to us. Even though Samsung says they do listen to us, they do listen to the consumer, they will if the consumer just stops buying. But, people are still going to keep buying these phones. Reviewers are going to continue to buy them. And let me see. Terry Keller says it's a business merger. He's talking about HTC and Google. Yeah, I agree. So back to these phones. Let me see if I can find something. Check that out, man. This is what they look like. This is what the Asus Zenfone 5 looks like. I don't like that bottom bezel. We got the iPhone. We have the Legos S9, which has kind of like if you look at the frame of the phone, the bezels are kind of thicker on the S9 there. And then let me see. So far, like I said, the one that really caught my eye is going to be the P20 from Huawei, even though they have a huge bezel on the bottom. But I kind of like their notch is like the smallest one on there. And then the Oppo R15, LG G6. LG G6 looks pretty good too, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if I decide to pick up any of these phones. But yeah, your thoughts, guys. What's up? Comment. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys going to be picking up the LG G6? I mean, G7? When it releases? Let me see. Just thought I'd make this quick video on my thoughts on the notch. The notch is taking over in 2018. And all these phones, all these newer phones that are coming out with a notch, it's a done deal. So we either have to learn to embrace the notch. Oppo 15, R15, that's the one I like. either embrace the notch or not buy their devices. And that's not, I don't think that's going to happen. I think consumers are still going to buy these things. So yeah, let me go ahead and play my outro, because this is just a quick live stream, early morning live stream. Staying with the G6 right now. Wait to see what LG does next.
To be
or not to be.
That is the question.
Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Share this video out. I want to know your guys' thoughts on the notch trend of 2018. And I'll catch you guys in another one.
Or to take arms against us.
I'm out. Peace.